going on, guys? Welcome back to the AandRPodcast. I'm AJ.
And I'm your tribal king, Ryan Harris. Ah!
I mean, I would acknowledge you, but you did just say tribal king.
I meant tribal chief or whatever it is. I don't know. Is it king or chief? I can never tell.
It's cheap.
I
don't know where you get king from. King does sound cooler.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the tribal king, to be honest.
I just think it... do we need to introduce what we're talking about? I assume no one else will know what we're talking about.
No, do you know when, like... have you watched SpongeBob? You watched SpongeBob, haven't you?
I watched a bit of SpongeBob, yeah.
And like... you know, I'm going to provide a very specific episode.
Oh,
you might know it.
I don't know if I...
No. You'll know. You might know it. So it's when Squidward first eats a Krabby Patty, and like
doesn't he have like a revelation?
Well, like he doesn't want to acknowledge that he likes it,
but he does like it.
And then he goes and sneaks behind. And I feel like that's with you right now. I'm like, you like wrestling, don't you, Ryan?
I do. I do like wrestling.
It's animated, basically. The thing is, it's really weird because you didn't like it as a kid, right? You didn't watch it as a kid.
I didn't watch it as a kid, no.
Yeah, so it's because I feel like if you watch it as a kid, it's easy to rekindle the love of wrestling.
I just got into it. I don't know why. Well, ever since you started showing me clips and that whole, I literally had a whole day where I watched this.
I mean, you.
I literally had a whole day where I watched the entire 3-year catch up of what's happened in wrestling.
That's like one storyline that there's so.
I know there's so many.
I was saying this the other day that they have 3 shows per week minimum. So they have Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I don't really watch NXT because that's like the developmental stuff. I watch the big events, but whatever. They have Raw and SmackDown, and they're all 3 hours each. So that's 9 hours of content you would have to cover.
3 hours each?
And they have 3 hours each, and it's not like an hour show. Because all of the episodes are like live with an audience, so you can't really go to an audience and then film a 1 hour shit thing with not much wrestling and then finish it because the audience wouldn't pay.
Do they have like a fight every week?
Well, because the rosters are like 40 wrestlers big, there's a lot of fights that could happen, and there's a lot of storylines that could happen. I will update you on the Bloodline stuff after this, Ryan. Just so you know, just so you're in the know. But like, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I watched up to the bit of the Rock is in the ring, who's just announced that he's part of the Bloodline because of some crazy Samoan connection.
Yeah, the Samoan brothers, mate. The Blood Brothers, the Wild Samoans, the greatest tag team. Well, not greatest tag team. One of the greatest tag teams. But like, mate. Cody. The thing is, I love the Bloodline story, but it's Cody's time.
What's Cody's story? Other than he's just always deserved to have to be.
Okay, so we're just gonna go. Okay, so we're going full wrestling law this podcast. I didn't have things to talk about. Whatever. I'm going to digress from that. Okay, so Cody, his dad was Dusty Rhodes, who was like the dude in WWE. He was the dude, like the guy. He was a man. He was a dude.
No, that's a dude. He's a man.
He's a man. He was like the guy. He basically was a wrestler. Then he basically grew all the talent. Like everyone knew him, everyone loved him. His dad then died. Cody then decided to move to WWE's biggest rival called AEW. So that's All Elite Wrestling, and that's where a lot of the old school wrestlers. So do you know Big Show, the big dude? Yeah. He's moved to AEW. Daniel Bryan, he's moved to AEW. So, like, a lot of the Edge has moved to AEW. Christian, who was my favourite, moved to AEW.
Edge is still playing. Edge is still playing.
Edge is still playing? Yes. So, Edge is now in AEW. So, a lot of stars move in there. So, Cody moved there. And then, at WrestleMania 2 years ago, Cody came back. And so, his dad was the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So, now he's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So, he come back. And then his goal was to win a championship, a WWE championship. He's never had one. He won the Rumble in 23. You saw what happened with the Bloodline. Yeah. He got screwed. Samoan spiked, and that was done at WrestleMania. He won the Rumble in 24, and he's winning the titles this time.
So if he,
I'm actually done with wrestling. If
because he's won the Rumble in 24, he gets to choose to fight Roman for the undisputed championship.
Correct. So the Rumble winner can pick a championship to fight for. So he had the choice between Seth Rollins and
is Undisputed Roman. The best one?
So, okay. So there was the Universal title.
Yeah.
So the Universal title was one belt.
Yeah.
And Finn Balor had that. He was the first holder of the Universal title. It's not really relevant, but Finn Balor was my favourite. And then he got injured. So Finn Balor won that title. It's obviously gone through its own as he went through Brock Lesnar, John Cena, blah, 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 Randy Orton, whoever. Then Roman won the Undisputed title back after he came back from COVID.
Uh-huh.
From somebody. Bray Wyatt, I think. Was it Bray Wyatt? It was someone. And then Lesnar had the WWE Championship. So originally there were two separate belts.
Yeah.
Then they fought each other at WrestleMania to combine the belts.
Which is now
there's the Undisputed Champion. But then a lot of people were unhappy with the fact that, first of all, Roman's basically now a part-time champion because he doesn't show up on many shows. He probably only does the build-up to WrestleMania and then shows up on a few pay-per-views to fight somebody. Only big fights. Yeah. He doesn't really fight every week like Cody does, like Drew McIntyre does.
Yeah.
So, WWE introduced a new belt for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's the belt that Seth Rollins now holds.
Right. Okay.
And then there's the same with the Women's Championship.
I think it's mad that, you're saying, he turns up for pay-per-view and stuff, but it's all scripted. So it's he's turning up to a fight that he knows he's either going to win or lose.
Yes.
I don't think that's mad when you put it in perspective. He's a part-time fighter. He turns up for the big shows.
No. So he's not part-time in terms of the story. Well, he kind of is. But in terms of his contract with him, he's got other commitments. It's like how The Rock is part-time because he has other commitments.
Is he He's not an actor. Well, obviously he's an actor.
He's not an actor, but he suffered from leukemia, so he had that, and he's got a lot of family, so he likes to spend time with his family. That's why he pulled away from it.
Family.
Yeah. It's funny because The Rock is in that franchise as well.
Disrespect his family. Disrespecting my family. He just kept going on and on and on.
Bro, when he slapped him, I was like, oh shit.
I liked The Rock when he was it because it was Salt Lake City, and he was like, you guys have just broke the record for the largest attendance of trailer park trash.
No, did you watch the one I sent you last week? Or the last one that I sent you?
I didn't get a chance to watch the last. I just watched the two.
Yeah, he does something similar with the people in Arizona. He's amazing on the mic. I will give him that. Wait, hold on. Who do you want to win out of Cody and Roman? Don't say the damn bloodline.
I do like the bloodline.
But not the bloodline. It's a good story.
I'd just say Cody because you have more knowledge.
Well, because Cody is, when he was in WWE, before he moved to AEW, in that 8-year span, he was a dickhead. So in wrestling, the wrestling world, the culture, there's something called a heel, which means you're evil, and then a baby face or a face, which means you're good. So he was a heel for 8 years, but I still loved him. Even when he was feuding with Rey Mysterio was my favourite, but I still liked Cody Rhodes. So when Cody came back, got very excited, and I think that's what pulled me back in. And then obviously all the bloodline stuff was going on at similar times, so I was like, "Wow, this is wrestling's cool again." It was very uncool for a little bit, but it's cool again. It's cool to like wrestling now.
Yeah, I think it was. I enjoyed it, even though I knew it was all fake. I just enjoyed it still.
But I don't get the concept of people who are like, "Oh, it's all fake," but it's like, yes, it might be.
But a movie's fake.
But you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. A movie's fake, so it's at the end of the day, it's just like watching a TV program, but it's a bit more live. It's just live TV, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and also it does look like it hurts. I know it doesn't really.
There are some things they do, and you can tell they've just not hit them, or they've done. I've seen some things where it's oh, you missed him there, kind of thing.
Yeah. But you can't be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're doing a 20-minute match every week, you're gonna miss.
But they do when they throw each other and shit. They do proper slam each other on the fucking thing.
Yeah, and apparently that's not very padded, and it's not got a lot of give. So you're basically just slamming them to the floor. I know. The worst is when they get chopped because you can tell that isn't fake.
Except for the Samoan spike.
The Samoan spike is dumb. I will give you that. The Samoan spike is dumb. Because you're just sticking your thumb out and jamming it in their throat. The Samoan spike is very dumb.
Yeah.
It's like the Cobra. So there was a wrestler called Santino Marella, and all he used to do was have it like this and do that at someone's throat. It was really dumb, but it was a really funny gimmick. I would try and find it because the Cobra. If you haven't seen it, type in Santino Marella Cobra. Do you want it? You can probably watch it now.
No.
Give it. I want to get your live reaction. Santino Marella Cobra.
Get out the old YouTube. You know what also is fun is that if I was watching, obviously I'm watching on YouTube, it's got if they get like a chair out and they're ready to hit someone, like it freezes and doesn't show them hitting.
Yeah.
Is it because they don't, or is it because they can't on YouTube? They don't want to.
Can't show it on YouTube. They show it on the network.
Okay. What was it? Santino Marella
Cobra.
Marella.
The Cobra's got to be the dumbest movie ever. But there is some really cool movies.
Cobra. Oh my god, 10 years ago. Why has he got a sock on his hand?
That's the Cobra!
Slowing things on again, like I said, his mental game.
Really
Another effective strike.
But it's
by
so
G.
funny.
That needs to...
It's so dumb. It's ridiculous.
He was great. I think he says... I wonder if he's teaching...
Oh, bro, he's putting on the sock.
Cobra
Didn't make
time.
it.
I wonder if he's teaching this at his mixed martial arts academy.
How are they gonna...
How to throw the
Bro,
Cobra.
he's just gone...
Yeah,
Came up empty.
Bro, what is it? Oh, bro, there's some things that are just waste.
there's some things that are so dumb. But the thing is, there is actually really good story. Like, I genuinely think I prefer, at the moment, the women's storylines. Other than the Cody thing, I genuinely think the women's storylines are better.
I don't know the women's storyline.
I'll get into it. I'll get you the full lore. The thing is, there is wrestling. The first WrestleMania was 40 years ago.
So wrestling's not wrestling. Is WWE 40 years old, or is it just that they just a side event?
No, so WWE, it wasn't called WWE back then, it was WWF, World Wrestling Federation. Then they had WCW, and then they combined the two to make WWE.
So what does WWE stand for?
World
Wrestling Entertainment. Yeah. Okay. All right.
There's so much like backstory. There's no point going so far back.
Oh,
like
it's like EastEnders where you can just pick up on the new storyline.
you did not
No, but like on that kind of show where where you can just in terms of you can pick up on the new storyline within a few episodes rather than you don't have to go all the way back to when EastEnders first started to know what happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like I'm like borderline getting you close to the point where you're obsessed.
I will be, but what time does it air normally?
No, I don't watch it. I just because I physically do not have the time or endurance to watch Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
It's what 9 hours.
Yeah, that's 9 hours a week. So I just watch the highlight clips on YouTube. So the highlights in England, it'll be Monday night, so it'll be Tuesday morning and Saturday morning. It's a Saturday morning when I'm having my breakfast is like the ideal time to watch.
How long is the highlights?
It takes about 20 minutes to watch all of it.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Unless there's like a big promo. Unless there's like a big promo, like there was one with The Rock earlier that was like a 30-minute segment. But I don't mind watching the bigger promos because that's the thing is when you get close to WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is the next premium live event. It gets quite inflated in terms of how much stuff they do, but then after WrestleMania, it kind of dials back a little bit.
And then what's the next one? SummerSlam. No,
so the big four. So there's 12 premium live events, as they call it, in a year. Mm-hmm. So they have the first one in the year is always Royal Rumble. So the Royal Rumble that sets the winner to fight the guy at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And in between the Royal Rumble, they have Elimination Chamber. Basically, there's two matches, one women's, one men's, where they just fight. There's 6 people, and they fight in a big metal box.
Yeah, a bit like Hell in the Cell, but you've got to climb up and get over to the other.
No, so it's not like Hell in the Cell because 2 people start, then every 5 minutes another's released, and then you get eliminated one by pinfall or submission, and you can't win by escaping basically.
Oh, you just have to last man standing.
Standing, and you've got to fight until you are the last man. So then, Elimination Chamber basically gets everyone in the right position in terms of storyline and match for WrestleMania. Then it's Mania. Then it's Backlash, and that's because it's basically trying to sort out the mess that WrestleMania caused in terms of storylines. That tends to be where they cut it. Then there's 2 or 3 more pay-per-views in between that, and then it's SummerSlam. And then there's two or three between that and Survivor Series, which is the last pay-per-view of the year. And Survivor Series is the last big 4 one, so it's SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, but it's very good that they're now doing more PLEs outside of the US, so they're on at good times. So Elimination Chamber was in Perth, so I watched it at 10 in the morning.
Okay, it's not too bad.
But then the Bash in Berlin is it'll be like our time because it's in Berlin, and then Backlash is in France, so it'll be our time again.
It's mad how they fill up stadiums with people.
It's actually ridiculous because you know what's really funny? In terms of sport, right? No, I'm not saying that it is sport. It's far from it. But in terms of sport, everyone likes a sport. Like people like tennis, badminton. People like that stuff. I have never, in my entire career, or as our friend, well, like in my 5 years of working, 6 years of working,
okay, yeah.
and my friend in our friend group, nobody really talks about wrestling as if they like it. But there are so many fans of wrestling. WWE is like the 10th most subscribed YouTube channel in the world.
It's obviously a lot of Americans don't just grow up with it because I assume it's on their time of TV and that kind of thing. So it's kind of, but I just find it insane that every event or every clip I've watched, it's an arena that's full.
And also, but the thing is, it's crazy that the fact that it's not because the demand isn't there. So, like, when I'm telling you that there's Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, all of those 3 things sell out every week, and they are weekly. And they sell out stadiums in the US.
I assume for the main events and, like, WrestleMania is a stadium, right?
Yeah, well, the WrestleMania, like, some of the scale of that. Like, Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania, massive arenas, hundreds of thousands of people. But then the craziest thing is, the live events isn't where it stops, because they do something called house shows as well. And house shows are basically just untelevised wrestling for fun. So there's not much storyline involved. It's just wrestling, kicking the crap out of each other.
Right, and that's you can just go to that.
You can just you just pay a ticket price. It's basically like you're at a live taping of like Raw or SmackDown, but they just wrestle without storyline consequences. Like they can wrestle for belts. Belts don't really change hands. If they do, they change back quickly.
Oh wow! And it hasn't got the main wrestlers in there.
No, it has.
Oh,
It's got like Cody. It's got There's house shows for like the roster remains the same. That's why they do like when they're in England, when they do their tour in England, they're only in England for like 10 days. They do like they'll film Raw in London. Tuesday they'll come to Birmingham, do like a show that's untelevised but it's got the same wrestlers in it. Then they'll go to like Cardiff, do one on Wednesday. Then they'll go to Manchester, and then they'll go up to Scotland and film SmackDown on the Friday, and then they'll do that for a whole week.
Of
just doing random house shows.
So they, as long as they do the main event, anything else it just doesn't matter in between as such.
Basically, like it's just more for fun for the fans, which is really good.
That is, it's mad how much investment they've got. So they must get top wrestlers must get paid quite a lot.
Then. Well, in terms of sponsorship and all that, it's definitely somewhere in the 8 figures.
It's mad.
I would argue in America, wrestlers are more famous than most sports people.
More than like American football.
They have like grown men singing Cody Rhodes' theme song. I'm like, let me catch my friends singing the Cody Rhodes theme. Don't you fucking... You're a grown man.
Usto!
Are you feeling Usi?
Oh,
that
was that an out of character moment? It looked because they had to pause.
Yeah. They broke character because they started creasing. Because that was so unscripted of him going. He's just not feeling very Usi.
Are they all like mates outside?
I think they are as much as they can be. Like, for example, you wouldn't see like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes like in public together because obviously that kills the storyline.
Yeah. But I
But like,
suppose as soon as they go behind stage, it's all like it's just a job kind of thing.
oh yeah, because I think they used to be the one they had to keep in character outside of the ring. But yeah, recently it's been okay because there was the whole when Roman Reigns had cancer.
Mhm.
He kind of retired his belt and said like to the audience, "I'm not going to be here because of that reason." And he went backstage, and even people he was feuding with, he hugged and whatever. And it's all friendly backstage. There is reality shows and like documentaries about how they do get on backstage. Obviously, there's real life feuds like there is in any workplace, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but yeah, it's just a mad how much of a huge industry it is, and it's been going on for ages.
And the thing is, there's multiple of these industries around the world. Like there's WWE, the Japanese version. Then there's All Elite Wrestling, which is trying to compete with WWE. There's English, Scottish. There's loads of different ones. TNA.
I haven't heard of any like English wrestling to that extent.
English wrestling is so hardcore because they fake it, but kind of. So the other day, I saw this spot where basically they stepped in super glue. You're going to think this is fucking insane, by the way. They stepped in super glue, right? Then with a boot, then stepped in thumbtacks, and then super kicked a woman to the face. And
that's not faking it.
It definitely did not look fake because she had like puncture holes in her fucking face.
What the fuck?
Yeah, mate. The thing is, the thumbtack spots are actually quite common. Like what they were common in WWE. Like, do you know who Mankind is? The guy with the leather mask.
No, not really.
He got thrown off Hell in the Cell.
Right.
Hell in the So he used to bring out thumbtacks, throw them on the ring, and then literally suplex someone so the thumbtacks were stuck in her back. So that's not fake.
Yeah, it's not. It sounds painful. But...
I fucking wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't jump off. It's when they just fly through tables and that's just so funny. Surely that's gotta hurt.
No, so I was watching Logan Paul's podcast with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And he was like, everything they do hurts.
Yeah.
Even if it's a fake punch, it still hurts. Like, even if they put their arm up, it's still going to hurt your arm if you get hit. There's just a certain point where you just end up tolerating it and it just becomes normal, which isn't good.
I suppose that's why they're elite athletes, I guess.
Elite actors.
You can't call them actors and then say it actually hurts, because I would say that would make you an athlete then. If it's actual real pain.
Makes you an idiot.
I mean, I'd do it.
Entertaining the matches. Anyway, we spoke about WWE for 25 minutes, so it feels like a good time for headline of the week. Isn't the headline of the week? Is the week saying what I find a headline old or new, and meet and Ryan.
Hello, talk about it.
Speaking of doing your own stunts, grandmother left dangling 7 feet upside down after getting stuck in shutters. Anne Hughes, 71, has been dubbed Superman by people in her home village after CCTV footage of the incident was released. Speaking at her home near the Best One shop in Tonteg near Pontypridd, Miss Hughes said her thought at the time was, flipping heck. It's lucky I've got a good sense of humour, she said. The store shared. I can't read today. The store shared its clip of social media. It's now been watched by millions. So basically, she's got her coat stuck in the electric.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. It's been going around, and I've seen that. Mate, I'd be so embarrassed.
I find it funny.
Oh, it's hilarious, but
so
I'll be like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened to me.
I'll be like, I'm Superman. Superman at home.
So
that's what
did it open? Assume she was Did she open the shop or someone else open the shop?
Someone else opened the shop. She was standing by it and it just kind of got caught and pulled it up.
Bro,
that's amazing. The fact that it's caught on CCTV is great.
That's my kind of luck.
No, your kind of luck is that you get decapitated by a shop shutter. If your luck in real life was how it was in Smash Bros, you would be dead.
Yeah, true. And we'd both be standing you'd be standing next to me, and it would happen to me and not you.
what would happen is like. Yeah, it'd be like the most unlikely scenario that like someone could throw a bowling ball at my head and somehow it would bounce off my head but destroy yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate my luck.
That's just how I genuinely don't know what it is. I don't know how you're so unlucky.
I've got to be looking at something else,
because it's not like it's like one session where I've got luck
every time.
Every time. Like every time, it's not even close.
It's undeniable.
I am inevitable.
Oh,
I am your tribal chief. Right. Well, feels like a good episode. So I thank you guys for listening. I've been your tribal chief, AJ.
And I've been your tribal king. Right.
I ended it there. Bye.
So...
And